I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise. If we could have a moment of silence, keep our troops in our prayers that they come home safe. Thank you. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Here.
Freeholder Belante?
Here.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Polos?
Here.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Here.
Freeholder Valenti?
Here.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Here. We have some recognitions.
Yes, we have a few recognitions this evening. First is recognizing the winners of PSA Don't Drive Dangerously contest. Next is recognizing May 14th, 2016 as Ray Tripoli Day in Middlesex County. Next is recognizing the 100th anniversary of Raritan Engine Company, number 1. Next is recognizing the honorees of the Honorable Daniel J. Ryman, Mayor of Carteret Annual Charity Ball. And last is recognizing the honorees of Senator Vitale's annual Veterans Fleet Week trip.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Belante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. At this time, Freeholder Jim Polos will make a presentation. Sure.
Thank you very much. That's fine, thanks. Thank you very much, Director, members of the board. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 17th annual Don't Drive Dangerously Award presentation ceremony. 17 years ago, two individuals and I sat down to dream up this idea of trying to get young people in our high schools to develop, at that time, 17 years ago, important messages about the dangers of drinking and driving. This was a message that we wanted to get out around prom and graduation season because of the rise those days in the number of drunk-related accidents that were occurring. A woman by the name of Barbara Ryan, who was with the County School Superintendents Association, was one of the key people in helping us get the program off the ground, along with a gentleman whose name was Art Brown, who was a county employee who passed away a number of years ago, but a brilliant man who was an executive producer with Worldwide Sports on ABC and had an enormous amount of TV production talent and knowledge that he brought to the table. So we sent out 17 years ago a letter through the school superintendents asking high schools if they would be interested in preparing, those days, a 30-second public service announcement video about the ills of drinking and driving. We got in, I think, about 8 or 10. We sat around a little table at the county school superintendent's office. The three of us had coffee. Barbara made a small little cheesecake, and we selected our first winner. 17 years later, through the growth of this program and with the great help and assistance of many new partners who have come on board to be a part of this process, we celebrated an event the other day at the Fire Academy with nearly 200 youngsters from across the county, with 18 schools participating, more than 25 entries in Spanish and in English, both audio tapes as well as videotapes, and a full day of events where the students were able to learn about all types of concerns when it comes to driving. Not just drinking anymore. We have matured to every type of distraction. And today, many of you realize that the statistics show that most of the accidents and most of the deaths that are occurring on the roads today are as a result of distraction, even more so than drinking. So we realized several years ago that we had to change the message, change the paradigm, change the rubric to give students an opportunity to really come up with their best talent, best ideas to put onto video and into these audio messages. What you're going to see tonight are the top 6 winners in both the audio category, 3 winners, and the video category. And then we're going to be making some presentations this evening to some of the students who were with us. I want to say at the onset that I want to thank Carol Burns, who has really been an integral part of keeping this program running, Dave Greger, our Comprehensive Traffic Safety Program Director, who runs our day-to-day operations with the Traffic Safety Program. Of course, all of our people in public safety, Joe Kriza and the entire team, from the academy to all the assistance that they've given to us. Part and parcel of what we do, and one of the elements that we do during the course of the day, is we have a program that we put the students through with golf carts. It's a program that we started in Middlesex County nearly 18 years ago. We're the first to do it in the state, where we put students into goggles that give them the sense of being drunk or inebriated in some way and unable to have clear vision. We put them into a golf cart, and we put them around a course that we designed so that they get the tactile sense of actually driving or trying to drive while they're impaired. And think about the issue that they face when they hit the cones or the barrels. We have a police officer or someone in the vehicle with them explaining to them that that could have been a baby carriage, it could have been a mother crossing the street, it could have been a telephone pole. So they get the real sense of how dangerous it is to be impaired and try to be behind the wheel. The nice thing is that you don't have to even have a driver's license in order to do that course. We have put in the last 18 years nearly 30,000 students through that program throughout Middlesex County and throughout 7 other counties that we were asked to do that program in throughout the state. And for our distracted driving video and audio program that we're doing tonight, more than 2,500 students have participated in that program in the last 17 years. So my hat's off to all the students and the participants. You're going to see the quality of the messages tonight, and I'm sure you'll be as impressed as we are. The first plank, and then we'll go right to the videos, is something that I was asked to put up tonight because it was sent to us unsolicited by one of the students who participated in the PSA contest just a few days ago. As you can read it, he talks about how wonderful the program was, the inspiration, words of wisdom, and how the seminar really opened his eyes even more to the ills of being distracted and driving. And I thought it was telling when he said at the end, I haven't began driving yet, but now that I know some statistics, it seems even more imperative to keep my eyes on the road. That's the whole purpose of this program and every program that we do when it comes to comprehensive traffic safety, is we want people to keep their eyes on the road and their hands on the wheel. So with that, we'll go first to our 3 audio winners, starting, I believe, with 3rd place. I think we need some volume. I should mention while we're adjusting the volume that these videos and audio tapes are being sent out to all of our municipalities. They'll be going on YouTube and getting a lot of exposure so we can get the message out to the students and young folks around our county. In addition, this is called filling, in case you didn't know. Several years ago, a couple of our tapes were actually picked up by NBC News and were featured on a Saturday morning news program on NBC. And I think it tells you the kind of quality of the information and messages that the students have been able to put together. What also has been very telling for us is that when we started the program, we thought that the messages were important and significant. 6.5 years ago, Rutgers University contacted us, the Division of Alcohol Studies for the university, and they were so impressed with the videos that they had seen on YouTube that they wanted to participate in our program because they said, as experts, they were unaware of the fact that students at this age were so willing to speak so directly to an issue and talk about life and death issues as seriously as the students were. And prior to that, the canned messages that were being produced seemed to have somewhat of a lighter message to it, if you will. And maybe that's not the best description, but they were so taken back they wanted to become participants and co-sponsors. And for the last 6 years, Rutgers has been a sponsor with us, along with with NCADD, which has been a great sponsor as well.
They always win this kind of way.
Now, pretty soon I'll be breaking into song. We'll be doing...
Who's going to dance?
you want to go to the videotapes, gentlemen? Why don't we just... And then maybe you can work on the audio while we're looking at the videotapes. The program that we did down at the Fire Academy, again, just to give you a little bit more information, in addition to the driving program that we put together, we had some wonderful speakers come in, talk to the students about the ills of drinking and driving and being distracted. One of our partners is Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. Their traumatic division there sent a number of folks out. The New Jersey State Police became an official sponsor and partner of our driving program, the golf cart program, about 9 years ago, which was pretty much a first, I think, for the New Jersey State Police to become an official co-sponsor, which is why we carry their logos on all of our equipment and programmatic stuff. We were really proud of the fact that the State Police recognized the value of the program, and Colonel Fuentes, the superintendent, said that he wanted to be a part of it. So we're proud to have them as one of our partners. Well, I think while they're doing that, I'm going to ask the awardees to come up. And if we're fortunate enough to get the equipment going, we'll play them at the end with the director's permission, if that's all right with you, sir. All right, so let's talk about our audio winner. We have our second place. Ken, why don't you come up? Freeholder Armwood is the Freeholder liaison to this school that is our second place winner, and the students are here today from the Middlesex County Academy for Allied Health and Biomedical Sciences. Second place audio winner for $300. Students here tonight, I believe, are William DeFaria, Michaela Chi, Alicia Malhotra, Akshita Sanjay, and Saren Veragis. We also have with us the principal, I believe, is here, Mr. Michael Finelli, and Rafael Nava is the advisor. Would you all please come up? There you go. I think we'd like to get a picture with all of you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations. 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 Ladies, if you want to come in a little closer, we'll try to, gentlemen, we're all going to try to group together and get a little shot with Freeholder Armwood. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. Freeholder Director, if you'd like to come up. Our second place winner in the video contest, and I might add, the funding for this program comes from the Division of Highway Traffic Safety, the award money, the programmatic costs, and so forth. Obviously, the county also participates with some in-kind services and so forth, but the vast majority of the funding comes from the state, so we're very proud of that. Our second place video winner is Carteret High School. That's why I called up the director. He's a Carteret boy, so we had to make sure we brought him up. And here tonight from Carteret are Annabelle Siren, Arkel Wilson, Maya Contanillo, Hadia Sidhu, Melanie Luciano, Sadira Esanasan, Zoe Kengocha, Zaria Kengocha, David Salvatore, Principal, Veronica Pitts, Advisor, and Tashili Vasquez, Chief Professional Officer. And I was told that Ms. Morales wanted to say a few words, so if you would come up, we'll take the picture first, and then Ms. Morales will invite you up to speak. Congratulations. Congratulations. You. Do we have enough room here? Or do you want to go in the front?
Maybe we should go.
I think we'll come up in the front. I should also note that one of the things that we do after each program is we survey the advisors and the students to get feedback on how we can improve the program each year, and their input and comments are really very, very valuable. everybody get a little closer together, everybody?
What are the two rows, guys? Just the windows.
Everybody stand sideways, face in the middle. This way, then we face the cameras and we can squeeze in, I think, right? Something like that. There you go.
Now, they produced the video a lot easier than they did the Thank you.
First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for having such an amazing program and having us to be a part of it. It is such a prestigious award and also very relative in our days today to be a part of such cultivated generations and to be able to have the opportunity to inspire and also educate people on very important topics. I would really like to thank the Boys and Girls Club for giving us this platform to be able to educate and to do the things that we love to do as individuals but also as a community. And I would like to thank Ms. Pitts, who is our Students Assistance Coordinator, for supporting us all as individual artists and also as a community. Thank you guys so much for such an amazing program. The experiences have been amazing and I'm very grateful. We're all very grateful for it. Thank you.
We also have with us this evening our first place winner in the video contest, and representing East Brunswick High School is Hope Eni. Turn around, I think you can come up here if you like to, sir, take a picture. Are we ready? Okay, we're going to try this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your indulgence. Okay, doesn't work? All righty, well, we thank you very much. I'm sorry we didn't have the opportunity to actually show the presentations tonight, but I can assure you they will be on YouTube. I want to congratulate all of you, and as you heard Ms. Brown speak, the future is bright for our state, our county, young people like this who are very involved and engaged in what needs to happen. So thank you so much. Correspondence? Motion by Freeholder Valente, second by Freeholder Romero. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes for approval.
The board chose a Freeholders regular meeting May 5th, 2016 at 7 p.m.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, second by Freeholder Romero. Roll call.
Freeholder Arnold?
Yes.
Freeholder Volante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny?
Yes.
Freeholder Colas?
Yes.
Freeholder Romero? Yes. Freeholder Valente? Yes. Freeholder Romero?
Yes. We have ordinances.
Yes, I think they shut this hands up.
Hey, don't let your mother smell that beer on your breath. She'll take it out on me.
Many of us know the feeling associated with this sound: stomach dropping, palm sweating, and heart racing.
Approximately 41 million people will connect this noise with a speeding ticket and a monetary fine this year.
However, those who have experienced this sound have paid a much more valuable price. 33% of all fatal car crashes are due to speeding.
Speeding is the second leading cause of vehicular death.
Take your time, not your life.
I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be remembered. But not like this. I don't want him to hear the crash as my car barrels into him, to see my face every time he struggles to get into his wheelchair, to remember my name every time someone asks him what happened to his legs. I wanted to be remembered, but not like this. Don't drink and drive. You may not be the only one that gets hurt.
Siri, how many days until graduation?
41 days until you're honored at graduation and your parents receive your diploma.
Siri, how many days until my 18th birthday?
20 days until your family celebrates your 18th birthday.
How long were my eyes off the road when I sent that text?
3 seconds.
Siri, what time will my family and friends be arriving?
Your funeral begins at 6 p.m.
Siri can do a lot of things, but she can't make texting and driving safe. Distracted driving is the #1 killer of teens in America. One small decision changes everything.
If I could fall into the
See, guys, we're fine.
No, we're not. It's all your fault.
What are you talking about? Look at us, we're fine.
This is all because of you.
What do you mean?
I was supposed to be a teacher.
I was going to go to college.
What are you
find the love of my life, get married, have kids.
And I was going to have a great life.
What are you talking about?
Life is going to be wonderful before you. I was so done and torn away because of you.
Guys?
These songs suck.
What is wrong with you? What? Keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. I got this.
Okay, but you better not put on. Man, I'm hungry. Hey, what doing?
What?
Trying to kill us?
Yeah. Keep your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Here, you want some?
Yeah. Yay. Oh.
Jason is calling me.
Stop! Don't do it! Keep your...
Yeah, I got it. Keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. I get it.
Hello? Hey, Jason. Yeah.
Left my phone in the car again. I'm safe now. Don't text and drive. It could save a life.
Okay, ordinances. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on May 9th, 2016. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders on April 7th, 2016.
The clerk will read ordinance number 426 by title only.
Bond ordinance providing for various 2016 capital improvements and equipment acquisitions and by and in the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $29,524,000, therefore, and authorizing $28,118,095 bonds or notes of the county to finance part of the cost thereof, and authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, May 19th, 2016, at 7 o'clock p.m. and publication thereof.
At this time, I'd like to declare the public hearing open. Anyone from the public? Please state your name for the record, your address. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Freeholder Director. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here in New Brunswick, and I really picked a riveting meeting to be the first one to broadcast live. We're actually being broadcast live on New Brunswick Today's Facebook page right now. But in all seriousness, I want to ask a few questions about this particular ordinance. First of all, why is the appropriation amount higher than the amount of the bonds?
That's because there's a 5% down payment on it.
Okay, so it's 95%.
Correct.
Borrowed. And can you tell me what is the money for? What are some of the key items?
That's our annual capital improvement program for the county. So we fund improvements to highways and bridges, engineering funding, funding for our park system. I have a list of the project if you'd like. County College.
County College. Or isn't that one separate, or is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was all of them together. You're correct.
Right, okay. Yeah. So could you just tell me what are the major projects or the biggest projects that folks might recognize?
As usual, about half of this ordinance is dedicated to engineering and highways and bridges improvements, infrastructure improvements, and the rest is just projects that are needed to maintain our buildings and to maintain our capital infrastructure.
Okay, so when you say maintain buildings, you mean like county-owned buildings?
Yes.
Okay, but you also mentioned housing as well?
Housing? I'm
sorry, maybe I misheard.
No housing.
No housing. So bridges, engineering, and the county's own facilities. Okay. I guess that's all I have on this one. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Yes, sir. Please state your name for the record and the address.
Richard Stewart, 90 Nielsen Street, New Brunswick. Item 816, Resolution 816.
No, Mr. Stewart, we're only having the public hearing on the ordinance that's listed here, ordinance number 426. That's, at this time, this is the only thing you can discuss. Have any questions or comments?
So there'll be another time when I can ask.
That's correct.
For an explanation on this. Very good.
Please state your name and address.
Ernest Dokes from Metuchen. So on this ordinance, if this is a public hearing, is there any details on this, or?
Do you have a question that?
Well, just my comment is that, every week there's a lot of, for every meeting there's a lot of, information, but it's like various capital improvements and equipment acquisitions. I mean, that could really be anything within the county. It's not really specific of what it's covering. Thank you.
That information can be Oprah'd. I mean, if you want a detailed. And is it available also prior to the meeting?
It's advertised.
It's advertised.
Yeah.
So
we just advertised that you're going to have a meeting. That's not really.
No, it's the ordinance. Well,
I mean, was it on the website or?
It's in the newspaper.
So I had problems finding. But what was in the newspaper? Just a public notice that there's going to be a public hearing?
Excuse me 1 second. Joe?
I have a list of the details I can provide to you.
All right, thank you.
I don't understand exactly what's going on. I wanted to ask about this resolution. Now,
he asked about the bond ordinance.
Yes.
That's what his question was on the bond ordinance, Mr. Stewart.
Okay.
Anyone else in the public?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is there a motion to adopt ordinance number 426?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Belante?
Yes.
Freeholder
Yes.
Kenny? Freeholder Polos? Yes. Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valente?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on May 19, 2016. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held on April 7, 2016.
The clerk will read ordinance number 427 by title only.
Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of various equipment and furniture and the undertaking of various 2016-17 capital improvements and at and for facilities of Middlesex County College located within the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2 million bonds or notes of the county for financing such appropriation, and authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, May 17, 2016 at 7:00 p.m. and publication thereof.
This time I'd like to declare the public hearing open. Anyone have any comments? Please state your name and address.
Good evening once again. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. Can you just tell me some of the key items in this $2 million being borrowed? What is there new buildings or new facilities, or is this just upgrades?
Once again, this is our annual program. We fund the college and the VOTEC system, capital improvements funds each year. It's typically $2 million, and there are numerous projects associated with that to maintain the college facilities.
Okay, so are there any major ones or any ones people might know? Students?
Maintenance for buildings and grounds for $300,000. We also have natural sciences. There's $150,000 for furniture and $50,000 for equipment, and so on and so forth. I can provide a list to you of all the projects.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else in the public that would like to make any comments or questions on the ordinance number 427?
I move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There a motion to adopt ordinance number 427 on final reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Arnold. Made that?
No.
Yes.
No? Yeah? No?
Sounds good.
I think they both did.
Okay. Roll call?
Freeholder Armwood. Freeholder Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder
Yes.
Kenny. Freeholder Polos. Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on May 9th, 2016. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held on April 7th, 2016.
Clerk will read ordinance number 429 by title, 428, I'm sorry, by title only.
Capital ordinance providing for improvements to various roads by, in, and for the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, and appropriating $3 million from the Capital Improvement Fund to pay for the cost thereof.
At this time, I declare the public hearing open. Anyone have any comments or questions?
Good evening once again. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. This item I was able to review some of the items, but I was curious why this project to build, athletic fields in Perth Amboy is not part of it. Is that something that was missing for any reason, or is it not scheduled for this year?
That wasn't incorporated in this bond. For the expenses for that field and park in Perth Amboy is not in this bond. That's right.
Okay, so what does that mean for the timeline for that project?
That's a separate question. We're talking about bond ordinance number 428.
Sure, and I'm asking, did you consider including that? Is there a reason that it wasn't included?
This bond ordinance is funded from our operating budget. It's a $3 million that we have budgeted for to reduce our debt service payments. And typically, these projects would be included with the overall $29 million ordinance, the main county ordinance. However, because it comes from the operating budget, it requires a separate ordinance. So it's funding road repairs, right? So $3 million, and it's decreasing the money that we need to borrow by $3 million.
So it's for road repairs?
Road improvements.
Road improvements. And I assume those are road improvements for roads where VOTEC schools are?
For county-owned roads, various roads.
Are they near the VOTEC school? I mean, it seems strange that the VOTEC would be borrowing money to improve roads that are not.
There's nothing listed on here for
The VOTEC's next, Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think
That's all right.
you're looking at the wrong.
Forgive me. I'm looking at the wrong one. It's $3 million. Okay, I'll come back in a minute.
Anyone else from the public? Please state your name and address.
Yes, Ernest Dokes from Metuchen. I had a question. Is there an idea of what towns that's in, or because there's some county roads that are pretty bad?
20 miles in multiple towns. All the roads that are being considered to be improved are listed in the ordinance itself, in the body of the ordinance. So, if you'd like, we can give you a copy of the ordinance, and you can have all the information that you need.
Okay, so when there's a public hearing, somebody has to come down here and get all the details, or how does that?
You could call the office, and I'm sure he'll provide you with the information, or the engineering department will provide you with the information as far as which roads and what towns will be getting those road improvements.
Okay, well, I just want to mention that Amboy Avenue in Edison is in pretty bad condition. New Durham Road through Edison and South Plainfield, I think. And
Amboy Avenue in Edison?
Well, Amboy Avenue, and excuse me, Director, but Amboy Avenue in Edison was going to be repaved this year, but Public Service is going to be putting in new lines, so we had to hold off for this year and probably going to hopefully do it next year.
So
and part of Amboy Avenue is not the counties. From the Turnpike to Route 1 is Edison's. And the rest, because way back when, in the 90s, George Padoro's, changed that road for the county not to own, and the township owns that part.
So now would that be like the Claire Barton section?
Yeah, that's Claire Barton section, exactly.
Okay, so then when Route 1 is...
Route 1 to Amboy to the Turnpike is owned by Edison, not the county.
Okay, because the one area.
That's the worst part.
The worst part by the garage, the DOT
The
garage.
bridge. And as a matter of fact, we had approval from the state because the state is supposed to pave that, and the county was going to pave that along with Amboy Avenue. But because we can't pave Amboy Avenue, no sense paving anything until we can.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else in the public?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion to close by Fielder Valente, seconded by Fielder Tamara. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance number 428 on final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Fielder Valente, seconded by Fielder Tamara. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Belmonte?
Yes.
Freeholder
Yes.
Kenny? Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamara?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes.
Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on May 9, 2016. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held on April 7, 2016.
The clerk will read ordinance number 429 by title only.
Bond ordinance providing for 2016-17 general capital improvements for the Middlesex County vocational and technical high schools located within the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $3 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3 million bonds or notes of the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, for financing such appropriation, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, May 19, 2016, at 7 o'clock p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
This time I'd like to declare the public hearing open. Please state your name and address.
Good evening once again. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. Apologies for the confusion. This is the one I wanted to know why it doesn't include Perth Amboy athletic fields for the VOTEC there.
These are projects that are ready to go, Director? HVAC, carrier roof, replacing the floors, repaving the parking lots, roofs.
Annually, we usually do a bond ordinance for the college and the vocational schools. And as Freeholder Kenny started to say, and you can continue as far as different improvements that are going to be going on at the vocational school. The park field in Perth Amboy for the vocational school is not coming out of this.
Okay. Well, how will the county pay for it? Will that be like county taxpayer dollars, or is that going to go through the VOTEC board?
That's coming out of open space, if I'm correct. Yes, it's coming out of open space.
I see. So even next year in the capital improvements for VOTEC, we shouldn't expect to see any items for that project?
That's anticipated to come out of open space fund.
Okay. Thank you. And can you just tell me some of the key things? I heard projects that are ready to go, HVAC.
It was depleted roofs, HVAC equipment at various schools, renovate the carrier area, and replacing the floors, and the continued work of repaving parking lots. That's something that's been going on for the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay. And forgive me, what's the carrier area?
Excuse me? The carrier area at the VOTEC schools.
Yeah, what is that, a carrier area?
The career.
Oh.
Career.
Sorry.
That makes more sense. Okay. Thank you kindly.
Anyone else in the public would like to speak on bond ordinance number 429?
I move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Fielder Tamara, seconded by Fielder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance number 429 on final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamara, seconded by Fielder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Belmonte?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamara?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. Reports of Freeholders. Freeholder Ken Armwood.
Thank you. From the Office of Culture and Heritage, Archaeology Symposium at East Jersey Old Town Village, Piscataway, in partnership with the Archaeological Society of New Jersey, Saturday, May 21st from 1:15 until 3:15. The symposium examines 2 New Jersey historic sites and the investigative work that was utilized to uncover their history. The first presentation examines a 19th century Quaker female seminary in Burlington City, Burlington County, New Jersey, that opened in 1829. The other 2 lectures explore findings at the First Reformed Church of New Brunswick from the recent reconfiguration of the historic sanctuary, which uncovered archaeological evidence of the 18th century church. This event is held free of charge, but registration is required. Call 732-745-3030, extension 310 for directions or information. From the Middlesex County Votech Perth Amboy campus, Middlesex County Votech Perth Amboy campus has become the first public school restaurant in the nation to be certified green by the Green Restaurant Association. With 144 green points on the association's rigorous certification scale and having implemented 45 environmental steps, Perth Amboy Culinary program went 44% beyond the minimum requirements to be a 2-star certified green restaurant. The school is the only establishment in Middlesex County, including restaurants and hotels, to receive this certification. The students are to be commended for buying in and talking ownership of this certification. And lastly, I'd just like to give a big congratulations to someone from my hometown, Mr. Carl Anthony Towns, who won the NBA Rookie of the Year award. Congratulations to him and his family. I know Freeholder Belante will probably comment on that during her portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Armwood. Freeholder Deputy Director Carol Belante.
Thank you, Director. Jim Vogel, the administrator of Middlesex County Board of Elections, has been reelected as the executive vice president of the New Jersey Association of Election Officials. This association is a statewide nonprofit organization consisting of election officials from New Jersey counties. Members work together to monitor legislation and share information to provide safe and secure elections across the state in conjunction with the Secretary of State, who is the state's chief election official, and the State Attorney General, who provides legal counsel in accordance with state election laws. The county's Board of Elections is responsible for managing all elections, maintaining voter records, voting machines, selecting polling places and poll workers, and many other election-related activities. I wish to congratulate Jim on this achievement. Thank you.
Thank you. Freeholder Charlie Kenny.
Thank you, Director. The first half of my report we gave out in four sessions here, so I'll go with the rest of the report. Just by adopting these ordinances that we spoke about and voted on prior, we continue to stand firm in our commitment to offering the highest quality education to our students. With updated facilities, technology, equipment, it helps to better prepare them for the job market as they move out into the world. We also know that, a good education is what businesses look for when they're relocating, and also what people are looking for when they're relocating or buying a new home. There's a reason that our college is ranked 150 for county colleges in the country, and our high schools have 3 that are in the top 50, 1 in the top 10, if I'm correct, in the U.S. News and World Report. So that's comes from a partnership between the County Board of Freeholders, the College Board Directors, and the County Vocational Board of Education. So that's how we help to achieve those goals and those marks. So I'm happy that we move those ordinances forward. It also helps us to continue with our AAA bond rating, which results in direct savings for the county taxpayers by lowering interest rates. It's estimated over the last 15 years, as I said before, the county has saved about $35 million by having the highest rating possible. I'd just like to add 2 other things here that this past Saturday, the Freeholders had passed a resolution. Actually, we changed it today to declare May 14th. We had it as May 7th, but it was canceled. May 14th is Ray Chipperley Day here in Middlesex County. And Ray passed away recently, but he was the founder of the Greater Middlesex Conference, Athletic Conference, the GMAC. and he served 45 years with our county vocational schools as a phys ed instructor, a coach, and an athletic director. And the reason I bring it up tonight is his dedication to the kids and students that came through the school system was really on display when we had the dedication of the ball field that basically Ray and his family built at our East Brunswick school. His daughter, who got up and spoke and gave a very moving speech about her father and what it meant, talked about the times about basically how when she was not even born, her mother had her on the field because her mother was out there when she was, pregnant. And then how the family would have family picnics there as they worked on the field and tried to improve it. And she said that she probably was the only six-year-old who knew how to drag an infield on a ball field. And so it was really touching to hear her story and what that field meant to her father. So I just want to commend the Board of Education for the county, those that were involved in dedicating the ball field to Ray Chipperly. It was something that was well-deserved. I did not know the man, but listening to the stories, I could tell that he was just somebody who, for 45 years or better, gave of himself to make the world a better place. And the only other item I have is, and I know that the director is our veteran correspondent, but I know he was there yesterday. Freeholder Armwood was there yesterday in Woodbridge Township for the Support Our Troops rally. It's a yearly event that's held there. It's part of a program that's to let people know who have family members serving in the military that we are thinking about them and how we can help them and show support for them, and also to provide a little bit of a memorial service for those that have served and have either come back and passed on or never came back. And so it was a beautiful event. It was very crowded, and I know that Memorial Day is coming up, but there's events, whether it's in your town, county, or state, that you could attend. Sometimes the event only takes 10, 15 minutes. Take that 10, 15 minutes, find out where there's an event so that you can stop by and show our veterans that you appreciate everything that they've done and their families, the sacrifices that they've made. And that's all I have.
Well said. Thank you, Freeholder Kenny. Freeholder H. James Paulos.
After the video presentation, Director, I have no additional report.
Thank you. Freeholder Charlie Tamaro.
That's got to be Jim Paul's shortest report ever.
I saw Mayor Ryman walk in, so I figured I should be brief.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm happy to report the activities are really ramping up in our county park system, especially with our Middlesex County Conservation Corps. First, I'd like to give a big thank you to the 340 volunteers who joined us on the shores of the Raritan Bay at the Old Bridge Waterfront Park to give their time and energy to help clean up the beach on April 30th. It was a spectacular turnout. In total, we filled 2.5 dumpsters of garbage and about 30 car tires were dug up on the beach. It was a fantastic day with great weather, and we moved a lot of trash out of the park to keep our Raritan Bay clean. And I think half the Rutgers football team was there, and I even asked them, "You're going to beat Penn State this year?" Of course, they said yes, but I doubt that. This past Saturday, Conservation Corps celebrated International Migratory Day at the Island Brook Conservation Area at 7:30 a.m., and we had a bird hike. We observed and heard more than 24 species of birds. 82 volunteers joined to participate in several habitat restoration projects to benefit the birds. Projects included planting a northern blue bayberry shrubs, removing invasive autumn olive, and litter removal and installation of 2 bird boxes for eastern bluebirds. I want to thank everyone who came out for these projects. Without your continuing volunteers, we would not be able to hold such successful events as we did this past Saturday. And thank you to the volunteers in the Middlesex County Conservation Corps who never let us down. And if you missed these 2 opportunities, we still have one more event left for the spring. On June 4th, 2016, we will join with groups from across the country to celebrate National Trails Day at the Jamesburg Park Conservation Area in Helmetta. Come out and help improve some of the over 30 miles of hiking trails in our park system. Visit the county website for more information. And finally, with less than a month before we open the 2016 season of Plays in the Park at the Stephen J. Capestro Theater in Roosevelt Park, We'll kick things off June 15th at 8:30 with The Little Mermaid. And don't forget, and backed by popular demand, there's 2 shows on Monday and Tuesday, June 20th and 21st, where the shows begin at 7:30. And speaking of our service people, men and women, we also invite them to come to our plays in the park at no cost to them and their immediate family. So please take advantage of that. We have many great shows, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Also on Sunday, May 1st, we honored an Eagle Scout, David Wolverton, at the Thompson Park, where he constructed a disc golf course, and it's one of the most popular in the state. I think it's rated number 3. This past weekend, they had a 2-day tournament there where many people participated in using this disc golf course, and at no cost to the county. This young man raised over $10,000 to do his project. An amazing project. So if you're into golf disc, go over to our Thompson Park and enjoy it. It's really a good thing for our county, and for someone to do this for his project. It's really an amazing thing. And thank you, Director.
Thank you, Freeholder Camaro. Freeholder Blanquita Valenti.
Thank you, Freeholder Director from the Department of Community Services. This summer, USDA plans to provide more than 200 million free meals nationwide to ensure that children from low-income families continue to receive nutritious meals when school is not in session. In order to make sure that children in Middlesex County have good nutrition throughout the summer, I'm encouraging towns that operate a summer camp, recreational, or educational program for children to please look into providing these free meals. Information on the program can be obtained by calling New Jersey Summer Food Service Program at 609-292-4498. Also, throughout the month of May, we're celebrating Older Americans Act Month. So it is a good time to remind all of our older artists that the county will hold its annual Senior Citizen Art Contest this summer from July the 18th through August 11th at the Performing Arts Center at Middlesex County College. Please call the Office of Aging and Disabled Services at 732-745-4267 for additional information. If you've never been to one of these, you should try and go this year, because it's incredible what our older senior citizens produce. Thank you, Director. That's my report.
Thank you, Freeholder Valenti. I have a few comments. Tuesday, I attended the graduation of the Middlesex County College graduation. We had over 650 graduates there, and it was really a beautiful event to see all the graduates all excited and receiving their degrees. Also, our Deputy Director was there as well, and Freeholder Armand was there. I think it's something that we have to be proud of. That institution. We have so many institutions that go there, so many students that go there, and they even wind up going into Ivy League schools. And that's a credit to the administration and the faculty and the staff. And kudos to them, and I wish them all the best. As Freeholder Kenny mentioned, I attended the Support the Troops rally in Woodbridge. Matter of fact, Freeholder Charlie Kenny was the one that initiated that whole program when he was still on the council in Woodbridge. And I want to say thank you to him, and thank you to Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, who has carried that torch, continuing that program. It's so important that we show our troops and those families that have lost service members in wars or in conflicts, and it just gives them encouragement to know that those folks aren't forgotten about. June 11th, we will be having our annual Pancreatic Cancer Walk. It will be in Roosevelt Park, and all proceeds go to the Cancer Institute and research for pancreatic cancer. One day, hopefully, we'll find a cure. And I just want to encourage everyone, next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. It's nice to have the barbecue, nice to get together with family, but let's not forget what Memorial Day is all about. It's about remembering the war dead that make us safe, free, give us all our freedoms, all our rights. And it's because of them that we live in the greatest country in the world. And There's many services throughout the county and probably every municipality throughout the county. I encourage everyone, please take a little time out of your busy day, a weekend, and attend the service. It's a solemn thing, and it's an important thing as Americans that we show them that they didn't die in vain. Okay, Mr. Kelso, any resolutions to be added?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be amended?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be held?
None.
Any resolutions to be voided?
There are none.
This time I'd like to open up the meeting to the public on any resolutions listed. Please state your name for the record and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Richard Stewart, 90 Nielsen Street, New Brunswick. I'm curious about Resolution 816. Could that be explained to me a little better? Talking about the purchase of Prab property?
Yes, Richard, this is a property that the Puerto Rican Action Board owns, which is adjacent to their facility. It consists of several abandoned buildings. The property was previously approved by an agreement for the county to acquire. These documents here tonight are providing for a participation agreement between the City of New Brunswick and the county to fund the acquisition by the city. It actually it was done through an appraisal, and the funding is going to be provided from the county to the city to acquire, which is approximately 9,500 square feet, to create a park. The participation agreement between the city and the county provide for a sharing of the cost of the demolition of the buildings. The city is going to then create a pocket park in that location.
Where is this going to be, excuse me, where is this going to be in relation to Prab's current building?
It's essentially next to it and across the street from the old Roosevelt School, if you know where we're talking about. It's a corner of Drift Street and... Right, Holt Street. Welton Street. Welton and Drift. There are several old buildings that are there that are boarded up, and they're going to be removed, and a small park will be created there.
If you're going from downtown
On the right side.
out, there is a parking lot for another building right across the street from Prab.
Yeah, there's a law office there. This is behind that. This is the next properties. If you go up Livingston Avenue, make a right on Welton Street, that's the law office on the right, school's on the left. Then you continue down Welton, there's a parking lot for the law office. These properties are the next properties and right behind them. And there's going to be a little small park created there.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public on any resolutions listed?
Good evening once again. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. I want to ask about the same one. I think you said the city and the county are teaming up to buy the land from Prab.
What I've indicated is that the funds are being provided from the county open space fund. The amount that we discussed at the last meeting, I think it's $234,000. It's a grant that's going to the city. The city will acquire the property, and the city will then create the park. It'll maintain it. It'll design it. The participation agreement provides for the county to contribute towards the cost of the demolition of the buildings, and that's what's in the participation agreement. The other document, the conservation restriction agreement, is a document that we typically do at the county for any property that's acquired through open space, and it preserves the restrictions forever as to that being a public facility and paid for by open space funds.
Understood. And we said at the last meeting that it's only a portion of the three properties. Is there a ballpark? Is it 3/4 of the land, or is it half of it?
I think it's actually about 3/4 of it.
Okay. And is there an estimate for the demolition costs?
No, the city is going to give an estimate to the county. The county will then review it. The county will look to sign off on it and to be able to answer any questions. And then as the demolition proceeds, the city will voucher the county for its 50% participation in it.
So it's a 50-50 agreement, and the city will bill the county, basically, for
Yes.
the city will put up the money, and the county will do that. Okay, the last question is when? What is the time frame for us to get a park here in downtown New Brunswick?
I'm not exactly sure when that will be. I know that they are working on design now. Whether that's going to be done during the course of this summer season, I don't know the answer to that.
So demolition may or may not be done this year, but then there still has to be design, engineering, and all that.
Well, I assume
kind of
that
stuff.
those things will happen in parallel. I think they're working on design and budgeting for that. The demolition could occur quickly after the acquisition is closed, but there will be a requirement. There needs to be a subdivision that's done, so it's a little time that will be necessary before they can actually close on it. But I assume all that will happen this year.
Okay, and so maybe next summer the park
I would
possibility.
imagine so.
Okay.
I would imagine so, yes.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else in the public, please state your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
Ernest Docks from Metuchen. 824, the copy machine, the aged and disabled
What's
services.
the number, sir, please?
824.
Okay.
The paper copy, is that like the general, for all the copy machines for the county, that it's per copy, or?
This is just for one office, it's a 4-year lease.
But I mean, in general, when you buy a copy machine,
We don't buy copy machines, we lease them. And there's a flat rate, and then if you go over the allotted amount, it's the usual cost per copy.
okay.
State contract that we use.
So that would include the maintenance and,
It includes maintenance and supplies, that's obviously for the paper.
okay. Number 803, the out-of-county colleges, can anybody take any classes they want out of county, or is that specific classes that are not available in Middlesex, or?
Only if they're not available in Middlesex County College.
And is that required, or is that?
That's a program that we provide, the college provides, and we reimburse the college. The college is involved.
This is if we don't provide that specific class that an individual is looking for.
I mean, there's a lot of schools that don't have every class. I mean, how is that?
That's been a policy that's been set up for a long, long time.
Yeah, the college reviews the applications and they have an approval process.
So they do have to go through some application. Okay. What was the other? Oh, the 835. That says attached schedule. Where would the attached schedules be then?
That would be an attached schedule of all the landlords and the payments that are being made. So that's attached to the resolution when we submit it, and then October she presents it to the payment.
So could they just put the total down of what they're spending, or?
That's, I don't have it too long here, I'll let you have it played out. $3,000 to $5,000, either 3 or 5. It's a Veterans Housing Assistance Program. So a lot of times that's rental arrears that we're paying, or sometimes first month security for veterans that need assistance with housing.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anyone else in the public? Please state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes on any items listed on the resolutions listed.
Okay, I'm here for Resolution 814. My name is Laura Schwach. I'm on the board of the Crossroads of the American Revolution Association, and part of the association's mission is to preserve historic landmarks and landscapes of the Revolutionary War period. that still miraculously dot the countryside of New Jersey. And the Story Farm is one of those landmarks that contributes towards our theme of the road to Monmouth. And as you can imagine, a battle is a very significant occurrence, and there are many events that lead up to a battle. Well, General Charles Lee and General Lafayette's troops were reported to join forces on this land at the Story Farm and encamped prior to the battle. In fact, an author said that General Lafayette was reported to have a very quick breakfast with the house of Joseph Story. So a number of colorful activities have occurred there, and preserving this land allows us the opportunity to maybe perhaps investigate some of the historic cultural artifacts that may still remain. But my main reason for being here is we're delighted to partner with Middlesex County on this acquisition. We're very grateful to Green Acres that provides nonprofit funding to allow nonprofits to accomplish their mission through open space preservation and historic preservation. But we especially thank you for the vision and the application of your acquisition resources to preserve this land. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else from the public?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Fielder Tamaro, seconded by Fielder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Kelso. Is there any freeholders that have any items
Freeholder Director?
separately?
I do. I have three of them: 16-756R, 16-816R, and 16-834R.
I also have the same.
And I have 1802.
802.
802.
Right.
Yeah.
You have that name?
Yeah,
Yep.
802.
Okay.
Yes, Fielder Director, a motion would then be in order to adopt the consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 16-787 through 16-858, including resolution 16-756, which was previously held, and excluding resolution 16-756, 16-816, and 16-834, and 16-802 to be voted upon separately.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Fielder Valente, seconded by Fielder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood,
Yes.
Freeholder Belmonte,
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny, Freeholder Polos,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes.
And now, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider the three resolutions that were excluded by both Freeholder Valenti and Freeholder Armwood, and that's 16-756, 16-816, and 16-834.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
No.
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 I'm sorry.
Motion.
No motion, sorry.
So
Motion.
A second.
Motion by Fielder Polo, seconded by Fielder Kenny. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood,
Present, not voting?
Freeholder Belmonte,
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny,
Yes.
Freeholder Polos,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti,
Present on voting.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes.
And now, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider the resolution excluded by Freeholder Tamaro, and that's resolution 16-802.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Fielder Polo, seconded by Fielder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood,
Yes.
Freeholder Belmonte,
Yes.
Freeholder
Yes.
Kenny, Freeholder Polos,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Present, not voting?
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes. Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public on anything. Please state your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
Good evening once again. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, and I'm here to ask some questions and hopefully make some points about ethics. I know I had some questions at the last meeting about who's required to fill out a financial disclosure form. I also wanted to ask about the Middlesex County Utilities Authority. Can you tell me, is Mr. Tony Cruz still on the board of directors for the MCUA?
I believe Tony Cruz is still a member of the MCUA.
I believe so, I'm not sure.
I believe so.
Okay. I wonder what his reason is for not filing a financial disclosure form. Obviously, that's required of all the board members. I'm also concerned about the MCUA in general. I've been following this court case going on that's must be costing an immense amount of money. Can you tell me who's the liaison for the MCUA?
I am.
Okay. Do you have any idea how much has been spent on the Willents law firm for that defending the accusations in that case?
No, I do not. Not at this moment. No, I do not.
Okay. I'm concerned because, of course, we had the scandal where the treasurer was stealing from the organization. Now we have board members not filing ethics forms, and we also have what looks to be a very expensive court case going on in Judge Francis's courtroom across, or I guess in the same complex here. I just wanted to know, what is the MCUA creates this product called Meadow Life, right? And they sell it. They make money off it. Do the freeholders believe that it's safe to apply that to fertile lands, to farmland?
I'm not aware. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it. That would be a good question that you could ask the MCUA if you want to attend one of their meetings. I don't know at this point. I don't know.
Okay, I'll try. Can you ask the liaison maybe if she has a position on whether this is safe or good for the food that's grown in our state?
I really am not that familiar, but I certainly will look into it.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to do the same, and I'll be writing articles about it, and I hope you read them. The last thing I wanted to ask about with ethics and disclosure forms, when you have to disclose sources of income, for instance, your attorney, Mr. Kelso, has to fill out a form. He has to list the name of the employer, right, the specific name. Is that true? You have to list your sources of income?
You have to list them based upon what's requested on that filing, the digital filing. I don't recall whether it requires a specific identification of each employer. I believe it does, and it also requires you any real estate held and any other forms of revenue.
Right.
I do believe it says to list employment.
Right. So you couldn't just write law firm and say I just.
No, I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Well, then somebody should tell the county prosecutor that he needs to fill out a full and proper financial disclosure form because he's trying to hide that his wife works for a certain law firm by only revealing the words law firm and the address New Jersey on the form. I think that doesn't pass muster, right?
As you know, he is a constitutional officer, and he is subject to the rules and regulations, and he answers to the state attorney general. So if you have any comments or questions or any suggestions that he may want to, that you think that he should do, you can call his office.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed to see another meeting go by without our sheriff or our prosecutor.
We have a sheriff's officer here.
Oh, of course, and God bless him. But the sheriff herself, the one who's elected by the people, is not here tonight. I guess she has something more important to do.
It's not a requirement. It's not a requirement for the sheriff to be here or the prosecutor to be here.
Well, I'm saying if you set their budget and you have the power to expect certain things from these constitutional officers.
I expect great law enforcement from the sheriff, which he provides. I expect great law from the prosecutor's office, which they provide, which in fact they just got a big guilty verdict, which was a great accomplishment after 25 years. So I think they do a fine job, and their reputation speaks for itself.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that the prosecutor is setting a bad example by not fully disclosing his interests, and especially when his wife works at a firm that gets business from boards within the county.
Anyone else in the public? Please state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Ernest Dokes from Metuchen. So with all of these ordinances and all that, would it be possible to post any of this stuff on the website or?
It's advertised and posted in a public place, which is the lobby. That's what.
I requested the minutes from the meeting from the clerk. Do you know how much time she had to spend getting those minutes to me?
I
or-
believe she got you 2012 to 2016. The other ones prior to 2011 are archived and they're on microfilm. So she has to go through all of them and
Now, wouldn't it be easier just for them to post it on a website than spend almost a week trying to send
they're
me
in
the minutes?
they're in the archives. So they're bound in books.
No, I understand
They're
that.
not-
But the other one she sent me, I mean, I think she spent at least a whole day, sending that to me. So,
That's not up to me.
okay, but if it was posted on the website, the clerks could save some time. And also, would there be any way to put a form like for road conditions or things that need to be fixed in the park or?
You could easily call the Parks office if there's any.
Because I know I had to call, the Parks Department about something, and they had to transfer me to, a few different people. Could there be just some kind of form, online form, or someone could put down their
Well,
concern, or?
I think it's easy enough to call the Parks office and lodge your complaint or concern on where there is a road condition that needs to be addressed, or if there's a county road that you feel needs to be addressed, then you could call the engineering department or the public works.
Because I've had issues with contact them in
You could
the
send an
past.
email in, and we have the portal that we get comments from residents all the time, and each freeholder that it affects their department or their committee, they respond, or myself.
Okay, and if anybody wanted, like any information on any of these ordinances, or they would have to file an Oprah request for each ordinance, or how would that?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be easier just to post that information online, or?
We post what's required.
What we do is what is required by law. We meet the requirements by state law.
So the only requirement is put a thing in the newspaper, and then people are supposed to figure out what all this means. All right, thank you.
By statute, yes.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Fielder Tamaro, seconded by Fielder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Fielder Valente, seconded by Fielder Tamaro. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.